What is going on, everybody? We are back. Today, we're going to be reviewing some film from my athlete. The goal is to be able to have everyone or anyone who's interested be able to send film that I could then review. Um, I helped this athlete go from 12 to 11.3. So we're just going to view his transformation. His dad helped get some film for him, which is always useful, um, always helpful. So let's go ahead and review some of his film and see what we can learn and see how he was able to improve almost a second in his 100 from the start of the season. I've been working with this young man, maybe since September, maybe around then, around summer. Um, so let's go ahead and see. So he does a long jump. He does the 400. But my philosophy is you want to be good at track. You got to kind of be, you have your specific events, but you should be able to handle most of the events. And what I mean by that is, if you're a 400 runner, you should have a decent 100, 200. So we are going to look at some 400, 100, 200 film from this young man. If you want to be a good long jumper, if you want to be a good triple jumper, same rules apply. You got to be able to run. Got to be able to run a decent uh, um, sprint as well. So this is a long jump. Let's see what we see. Oh, he's here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Okay, so we need a big push out of the back. You want to generate your speed. So that was a bit more bounding out of the back. I would like to see just more of a sprint, but that's okay. He's got his bounds going. He's up tall. Looks a little bit like he's sitting back, almost preparing for his jump already. And then he kind of throws himself into the sand there. If you can see how quick, I mean, it's hard to see. All these people are standing here, but let's say that's a 10-foot board, and he's not even really off of the board before he goes into his landing. So my advice for him is to be more patient. Look, so he just hit the board. You can hear it, and look at his arms. They're both up in the air. Because he's getting ready for his landing, right? What he has to work on here is running off the board, not setting up his landing automatically when he hits the board, right? Because as soon as both his hands go up, he stops gaining height, right? So he doesn't really jump that high, and you see his energy that's still going forward. Look at this, boom! When he lands, he keeps going forward. He keeps rocking forward. That lets me know that he's landing way too early on this jump. So let's see if we see another one. Maybe he can clean some of this up. Okay, so this is jump number 2 here. And we're dealing with the same problems. Not surprising, right? Push out of the back and already into his landing. Hard to see. Okay, that's his long jump. Just another one. These are 2 more. If I had to guess, they're going to look the same. Let's go ahead and watch one just in case. Just in case he miraculously improves something here. If this loads. Okay, here we go. Oh, got a little freeze there. Okay, my computer is struggling. Need to get a new computer. Okay. So here's his 100. Now this 100 time is a 12:21. So let's watch the mistakes that he's going to make, um, or what we can improve here, right? So automatically, this is him in the outside lane in the green. I want you to watch his first few steps out of the blocks here. Okay. Watch how he goes to the side. This step is going to the side, to the side. Look at that leg going to the side, right? He's got to be going straight. Um, let's watch his arm separation. Now, what I'm looking for is arm separation out of the blocks, because that's going to let us know what his legs are doing. If he's being small out of the blocks, he's going to have small arms. If he's being big out of the blocks, if you watch any of the top guys there do their starts, they're going to be big out of the blocks. Let's see if I can find one for you. Right. Okay, so Asafa Pal, with his start. Now we're just going to watch his arms. Extra slow-mo. We don't need to see all that. Okay, you can't even see his arm. It's how much it's swinging back to get that full extension. That arm is way back there. Okay. So let's go ahead and see my young athlete here and see what he's up to with his arms. Okay. Not bad, but a little bit all over the place, perhaps. For sure, not as smooth. I mean, obviously. Okay. So he does his nice little ballistics or plyometrics before he gets in the blocks, as everyone else does. Not just for show, it's to, wake up the nervous system there, get it ready to run, to do something incredible. Okay. Tough to see maybe again. Here he is in lane 8, I believe that is. Again, this is a 12-2. And I'll show you how I've improved him to 11-3. Okay. Good hip height, good forward lean. You see lane 2, his hips aren't up enough. Lane 4 looks a little funky, but he's got lane 4, so let's see what happens. Boom. Again, steps to the side. See the side step? He's already lost some time there. And we're just looking at where are we going to pick up time, right? We're going to pick up time by running straight, not to the side. We're going to pick up time. Look at that arm swing is medium. It's average. Okay. Steps to the side again there. Did you catch that? See, he's all over the place. Look at where he is now in his lane. He's almost in this guy's lane, right? We got to learn how to run straight, and I'll show you exactly how we worked on that with him. So he's all over the place. Part of the problem is his eyes are straight down, in looking at the track, and that's going to lead to him falling forward, having to catch himself rather than pushing the track behind him, and it's going to make him kind of wiggle all over the place here. So we got to work on getting his eyes up, and not up like picking his head up, but I tell people, like, you should be still shoulders facing the ground, but your eyes should be looking through your eyebrows. And he is not doing that. He's looking straight down. And so now when he does look up, he doesn't even know where he is, on the track, which is why he's almost in the other guy's lane here. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. everyone's pretty much up at this point. I'd have a hard time believing. I mean, that's probably 20 something meters. So not horrible. We like to drive for 30. Okay. Slows down a bit. There's no real acceleration. He's up and he's let's see if he accelerates a little bit, but we're going to improve all of that. And again, I'll show you exactly how we do that. But first, let's watch what is this? One of his 400s. Now, I believe when he came to me, he was around 56, if I'm not mistaken, in the 400, and we've since gotten him to 53. So he's really trying to break 52. He has a meet tomorrow. So let's see how his start looks in his 400. Probably doesn't look any better if I had to guess, but oh no. There we go. Hmm. I'm not sure I'm a fan of his angles. Okay, kind of swings his arms, but he doesn't really go anywhere. Um, he definitely doesn't drive out of this. It's a 400, right? You still got to drive because he's up and he's 10 meters out of the block. So now he's, sprinting 390 meters um, rather than being patient, sprinting 360. Now, this guy on the inside of him is catching him. He's got to be able to feel this guy on his hip and understand that he's going too slow, right? Like maybe this guy runs 50 point and my athlete's trying to get 53. In that case, let him go. But you're in similar lanes, right? He's in lane 7 or 8 here. So this guy's in lane 6 or 7. So you got to assume your seated times are similar. And this guy caught you way too fast, way too fast. But that's because he drove out of his, let's see what he does. Yep. I'm speaking about this guy in the purple that's on the inside of my athlete that's in the green. He didn't drive that much better, he just kept pressing. So, you know, one thing to note for my 400 meters, I try to teach a little bit of strategy of about 90% for 90 meters. Oh, it looks like he's in lane 7. So when we're in lane 7, 100 meters or 90 meters rather, isn't he's kind of in a float phase right now, but he's 30 meters down the track. A little confusing if you're in the outside lanes, but you got to understand that your push phase isn't over until you reach the number 7 in your lane. So now is when he should be in his float phase, but he was in his float phase uh 30 meters out of the blocks, right? He doesn't do a bad he does a good job on this backstretch here. He feels that guy, he understands he's going too slow. This uphill portion, got to suck it up, run uphill. And now we got to get the arms going and go downhill. And he's kind of just flat. Um, Now he gets his arms going a little bit too late here. Relax the face. Stay open, nice and open, but I'd like to see some more turnover here. So again, we'll improve that. Now, what is this? These are more long jumps. Let's go ahead and watch one. Hmm. Looks a little bit better than the other ones. We're able to see his takeoff a bit more. But look how quick he's into his landing. again, this is probably an 8-foot board and or 10-foot board, excuse me. So he's landing on like 3 feet off the board. Again, does this little thing where he lands in the pit and just shoots forward, right? It's letting me know that all his inertia, all his energy is still wants to go forward. Okay, 54.22, new PR. So this was, had to be April sometime, maybe March. See if it'll load for me. May not load. Okay, let's go for a different video. I'd like to see okay, here we go. Forgive me, just got to get a new CPU so that all this stuff runs more smoothly. We're going to pause again, wait for it to buffer. Okay, no problem. Let's see this 224.2 new PR. So we have a PR of 24.2 in the 200 on whatever day this is. And if we want him to run 53, then we got to get his 200 down to, let's see here, do some quick maths. This is, so 53 means we got to come in at, okay, 56, 25 plus 27 is 52. So, what I'm doing here is figuring out the splits that he needs for his first 200. He needs about a 25.5. And so what I would like to see him get to is 23.5 for his open 200. And then you could just add 2 seconds to that. Assume that he could run that in his first split of his 400 and come back in 27. Is that right? 27.5. Yeah, that would be about 53. So let's go ahead and watch. Now we know we got to get his 200 time down by, second, maybe point 0.6, 0.4 second, 0.7 seconds. Here he is in green. I believe that's lane 3. Now, at this point, we had met in person a few times and gone over what his starts and drive phase should look like, even on the turns. So let's see if he made some improvements here, some adjustments. So he stays patient, drives much better this time. Nice arms, staying relaxed. Now I need him to accelerate. Not bad. Now beat the drums. You just want your turnover to remain fast. Good. Okay. Not bad. 24-21. I think we still got some juice to give. This looks like another long jump possibly, which we'll skip over. Okay, here we go. This is his 100-meter now. So in this race, he's in lane 2. Again, we've been working on drive phase. We've been working on acceleration phase, being patient. If you're not patient in the beginning of the race, you're going to die out in the end of the race, right? If you're not patient in your drive phase, then 75 meters, you're going to get caught by people that were patient in their drive phase. So if you experience, around the 75, 70 meter mark where the guys or girls are catching you from behind, they are just either much faster than you, had a worse start, or they were patient in their drive phase. So this is going to be a new PR of 1186, down from 12.2. And let's see what he does to improve. So here he is in lane 2. If you remember on the first 100, he was kind of all over the place, side to side. Let's see if he can stay straight. That'll solve a lot of the problems. That'll take you from a 12.2 to 11.8. Good hip position. Late reaction to the gun, but he stays patient. Much better drive face patience on this. I think he still goes to the side a bit. Got to stay straight. This is all a journey. This is all the journey from 12.2 to 11.3, which is a nice improvement for him, for anyone. Maybe a little high with the hips there, but not bad. Okay, that triangle back there was 10. He's still driving a bit. Now he's transitioning. So that was a good drive phase. Transitions, up tall, need his shoulders a little more forward. But look at that. See how it pays off? He was the one now in this race to come back at the end and end up catching people because he was patient in the beginning. Boom, patience, patience. Now, that guy in lane 1 is ahead of him. That guy in lane 3 is ahead of him. I feel like lane 6 is ahead of him slightly. But then because he was patient, all right, the guy in lane 3 is going to slow down now. The guy in lane 1, he's already catching up to and passing. And now it pays off, right? Look at how much longer he's running. The guy in lane 3 is panicking a bit because he feels him. That was good. That was a good race. Nice patience by him. I'm scared to play this one. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, this is a PR for the 200 though. 23.97. So we're getting there. I told you I needed him at about 23.5 in order to reach a 53 goal. Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to load on my my laptop. Got to get a streaming PC. Okay, we'll move on. Sorry, everyone, but I'll try to fix that so we can watch this. There we go. Okay, so this looks like the same meat, or is it different? Come on, play for me. Okay, we got something. Buffer, buffer, buffer. Okay, I believe that's him in the green. It looks like he's in lane. Where's that him? Nope, I think that's him. He must be in lane 4, 3, 4. He's got a decent lane, whatever this is. 1, 2, 3, or maybe there's no 1. Maybe that's just 2, 3. Okay. I wish I could speed it up for y'all, but I don't want my buffering to. If you have questions, go ahead and drop them in chat. Do my best to answer them. Okay. Here we go. Got his jumps in. So this is a PR of, what did I say, 23.8, 23.9. So we're getting there. Nice. Stacked in the blocks, shoulders over hands. He could lean forward even a little bit more. That's okay. You see the difference? Look at this guy on the inside here. He's sitting back. His shoulders are behind his hands. Same with the other guy here, shoulders behind hands. And then look at his position, shoulders over hands. Um, very good. Feet against the pedals. Nice hip height. Again, I don't like this angle. Hips a little too high, to be honest. Last one off is pedals. Horrible reaction time. I think that has to do with high hips. I bet you if we slowed it down, the first thing he does is lower his hips before he pushes out the blocks. That guy on the inside of him got him fairly quickly. Okay, we get to the straight, got to accelerate off the turn, and he kind of slowed down. I'm not going to lie, but he kept fighting. He's just in better conditioning than the guy that died out ahead of him. So he was able to come back. Let's see how patient he was in his. Okay, not a horrible drive phase. Can still be improved, but that's why he was able to catch that guy in lane 2. See, that guy in lane 2 is actually pulling away off the turn, and then here he comes right back, though. Accelerating. The guy on the outside of him is breaking down. He's keeping his form, right? That's all just due to great training. So that was a 23.9. And then wouldn't you know it, we got a 53.45 in the 400. So is this him in lane 3, I believe? Yeah. High hips. Hips too high. Boom. More patience on this drive phase of the 4. The guy on the outside of him gapped him really fast. So, it could be a strategy play to let this guy go because maybe he went out too hard, or maybe he's a 49 kind of guy, in which case we're just going to let him go. But my kind of rule of thumb is understand who's in your race. And if you want someone to pull you to a fast time, perhaps like let's say this guy ran 52, you always want to be able to reach out and touch them with your hand. Because you have a 2-turn stagger in the 400 and you're going to get it back on this back turn. Nice and relaxed, nice and open on the back stretch. So he's reeling him in. Slows down a bit too much, right? He's now on pace with the other guys rather than the guy that's in first. I would like to see him stay on pace with the guy that's in first and just slowly reel him in. Comes off the turn. Now stay open. Nice turnover. Look at this guy. Well, he's looking and laughing. That's impressive. Oh, jeez. Look how relaxed he was. I messed that up for you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, he's staying relaxed. Look at his turnover compared to everyone else. This is why it pays to work more on foot speed, on pure speed versus conditioning when you're having trouble finishing the 400 because of this example right here. This guy that's in first has significantly better turnover than everyone else behind him, right? And he's just relaxed, smooth, nice turnover. My runner's a bit sluggish, stuck in the mud there. Got to keep that turnover going towards the end. Can't get long and slow like this. Arms going side to side. He still ran a PR. So okay, I was mistaken. This is the 200. There's that guy that won the 400 right there. And he's just jogging around that turn and then he turns it on. He just doesn't know how to run the turns. This guy in this teal or whatever color that is. Again, look at the difference in turnover. Knees up, knees shoot back up, putting force into the ground, covering ground. My athlete's not really putting that much force into the ground. I think that's kind of a result of his arms not being quite in the correct positions. Okay, we got a lot of film here, so I'm going to move forward. I don't think oh, yeah, there he is in lane 8. Look at that practice start. So much better than that first. Look how much more straight he looks. Staying driven, on top of his toes. This is good. Feel as though he'll have a good race. Okay, do our nice plyo jumps, ballistic jumps. Load into the blocks. Nice drive. Much better drive phase for him. Although he got left by these guys. Wonder what his time was on this one. It wasn't a PR, so. Okay, so one of my favorite workouts here is this. These cones are every 10 meters. So this is going to be 10, 20. Can't see 30, but this is going to help us work on drive phase and understand transitioning and understand acceleration, and also give us a metric on where we're lacking if we want a certain pace. You're able to tell if it's 0 to 10, you got to work on that initial explosion out of the blocks, or perhaps you're off pace 50 to 60. You know that the acceleration phase needs work. So let's see how he does here. Yeah, those hips are too high. But he's staying straight, staying in his drive phase all the way through 30. It gives a great visual to understand how far 30 is as well, which can easily be misinterpreted because 30 is further than people realize. Doesn't want to load for me. Okay. It's all about the routine as well. If you noticed here, he same routine every time. So he's getting in the blocks, got to do your ballistic jumps. So here we go. It's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I like to have my athletes go, depending on the time of the season, 2 or 3 to each cone with a nice little hand time, or if you have electric timer, go for it. Again, it gives you an idea of where you're off pace for your target time. Now let's see. He should stay driven all the way to third cone, transition to the fourth cone, accelerate from the fourth cone on. Let's see. Drive, drive, drive. Good. That was a little bit soon. You see, we can visually see he made that transition. I don't know, maybe 18 or so meters. And I'll give you 20 to 30. So if you're up at 22 meters, like okay, uh, but less than 20, I'm not. I won't accept that. That arm comes a little bit to the side there as well. That's a good acceleration phase though. So he's up tall. At this point, we need to start putting force into the track and covering distance, and it looks like he's doing that. So this is one of my favorite drills in order to improve our 100 time. So let's go ahead. Let's fast forward to his 100-meter dash. That was a 11.3. So this is his PR for this season so far. Here he is in lane 3. Again, he does his same routine, ballistic jumps as he loads himself into the blocks. Boom. Much better start. Look at that. Patience, patience, patience pays, man. That guy on the outside of him got a great start, but popped up too soon. Boom. Got on the outside of him. Kind of is up. My athlete drove a little longer. And here he comes at the end of the race to go get it. You know, again, patient pays. Um, Getting in your reps pays, which is why I really like that workout of the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And let's look at this reaction here. This is the reaction of a winner. There you see 11:36. There we go. That's pure joy. That's the result of that's what happens when you put in the work. Yeah, I mean, how do I get it? Okay. So that was is this the 200? This is his 200. I believe this is also a 23:23 200-meter PR. So now we're looking at, if 53 was the goal, we're now looking at 52. Because the faster that 200 gets, the better our 400 will be. 52 is a 25 and a 27. So, he's got to be at around 23.0 in order to hit 52. And right now he's at 23.2, which is, we'll take the wins as they come. Let's see here. What lane is he in? He's in lane 1, which is the worst lane by far. And that is undebatable. Just kidding. That's my choice, my preference. Okay, so this is following his 100-meter PR of 11:36, and we went and got a 200-meter PR. Let's find out how he did it. Again, it's gonna come from being patient in the drive phase. There he is on the inside, lane 1. Boom. Again, got left in the blocks. I'm not a fan of that. We got to fix his block starts. But look at the patience that he has. He's first of all, he's in lane 1, and he's definitely, 20, 25 meters out there before he gets up, stands up tall, comes off the turn, accelerate. Yeah. Good. Look at the guy in the lead is one of those effortless looking. He doesn't look like he's going that fast, but he's covering a lot of ground, being super active, striking under his hips. He's just a strong runner. That's why he's able to do what he does. We got to work on his arms towards the end of his race. Oh, we got him man down over there. But that was his 200 PR, 23:23. So, yeah, that's the kind of work that is required to improve. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk to you all about. And it comes from a comment on one of my videos. Let's see here. Stick with me. This is going to be good. Oh, hello, buddy. My dog busted in the room. telling me it's dinner time. Okay. My guy's back here going crazy on the bed. It's dinner time. So I'll put that video together for you all at some point, but it's going to be basically how to stop thinking and just run. When you're able to stop thinking and just run, you're going to run much faster. So I'll put that together for you all. I hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in having your film reviewed, just let me know. Let me know in the comments if you find this useful and if you want your own film reviewed, because that is an option. So until then, I'll see you later. Peace.